But wisdom comes and vision grows within. Then nature's instrument crowns himself her king. He feels his witnessing self and conscious power. His soul steps back and sees the light supreme. Nature's instrument, that is man. Man who has to be the master of nature. If you go by science, there is a probabilistic operation by which out of the chaos came life. Life emerged because of chaos. Life emerged, life came into existence through a stochastic process. There is not a design, but indeterminism that gave rise to life. It is that which shaped life. Probably it is that which also brought death. If chance, if probability, if the stochastic process could bring about life, then it can also bring about death. Death's determinism is in the probabilistic process. The machinery of nature is controlled by chance. It is governed by the laws of probability. Man himself is a machine amid machines. He is perfectly programmed first in the womb of the mother. From the moment of conception till his birth, his emergence in the outside world, everything goes on in a flawless sequence, week after week, part by part, the body taking shape. Remarkable biochemical engineering indeed. Nature has perfected that engineering. Such ingenuity and such execution, and not only here does it do it. Even after the birth, everything is largely conditioned by various factors. The food, the taste, the likings and dislikings, the environment, the parents, the family, the social ambience, the social milieu, everything determines the nature and character of man. And it goes on till slowly the individuality starts emerging. He is tabula rasa to begin with, and he is not tabula rasa also. Perhaps before the birth, he decides to come with something to continue what he had left earlier. He is not tabula rasa also. But even this individuality of man is just an outer individuality. It is not his true individuality. Man is still a persona. He is not a person yet. He is still a mask. He is still a facade. He is a product of experimenting and fumbling nature. He is still the scaffolding for the structure to come. He has been assembled for a certain purpose. Assembled it seems, but that purpose is not yet disclosed. He is a slave of nature. Indeed, very freedom for him. Nowhere. Man is constantly led by his ego sense, by his ego soul, by his surface soul. He lives only in the waking state, in Jagrata. He is an assumed identity, not a native identity with his Swabhava, his native quality, native character. The ego is the persona he has put on, a mask created and demanded by everyday social interactions. He is not his true self. Man is not his true self. He is not aware of his final developed consciousness. He is not aware of the harmony that subsists all creation. He is not aware of truth and harmony and love and happiness. But still, the wisdom has to come. Wisdom must come to this man. Vision has to come. Vision must come to this man. And it must come and grow. It must grow in him. Instrument of nature, man must possess her, must possess nature, be master of nature, must lord over her. He must crown her with truth idea and idea force. He must stamp his authority over her, his witness personality. He, the Sakshi Purusha, must assume authority, must take control over things and events. The conscious power must take charge of everything. All that is outside and superficial and born of low nature, of apara prakriti, that must be discarded. His soul must step back from these trivial outside movements. He must see the supreme light. Behind this crude machine of nature stands in full sovereignty the Godhead. It is towards him that man must move. When this happens, victory is won for God in man. When behind this crude machine of nature stands the Godhead in his sovereign power, then is won victory. Then is won victory for God in man. That moment has now arrived for Savitri.